Hello, Reading Olympians. As you already know, we are going to hold a virtual Reading Olympics event to celebrate you and the reading you've done. I know that you may have a lot of questions about how a virtual Reading Olympics event will work, so in this video, I will talk about the following: the date and time of virtual Reading Olympics, how we will use Microsoft Teams to hold the event, what you can do to prepare in the meantime, how to get your t-shirt, and what to do if you still have questions after watching this video. As I go over these topics, I'll also point out how this virtual event is going to be different from the regular Reading Olympics event.
Okay, simple stuff first. Virtual Reading Olympics will take place on Wednesday, May 20th at 2:30. It's hard to say exactly how long it's going to last, but our best guess is going to be around 4 o'clock. After the competition, we're going to hold a virtual celebration.
Virtual Reading Olympics will still be 3 rounds of questions. The setup will be the same. 2 teams per room answering questions about books. But the room here is virtual. Each team will be asked 12 questions per round. Multiply that by 2 teams, that's 24 questions per round instead of the typical 40. You will compete with students from the other 4 Great Valley elementary schools instead of schools from across Chester County. Here's what you'll do on May 20th. By now, you've probably already noticed that you have been added to a Reading Olympics team on Teams. That's going to get tricky to say. On May 20th, log on to Teams, find your Reading Olympics team, and join a meeting that your moderator has started. Once you join the meeting, you won't have to go anywhere else for the remainder of the competition. Your moderator will be hosting 2 different meetings with 2 different teams on 2 different devices. There will also be a staff member from your school who will be in the meeting with you the entire time, serving as a chaperone/scorekeeper. At the start of round 1, your moderator will review some of the directions, choose one team to be Team A and the other to be Team B, and then your moderator will start the event. The moderator will ask a question about one of the Reading Olympics books, and that question will be directed at Team A. Both teams will then have 20 seconds to discuss. The moderator will mute their microphone so that the teams cannot hear each other through the devices, but the moderator will still be able to hear both teams. It is really important that you participate in the discussion if you have read the book and can help your team out. It is equally important to remain silent if you have not read the book and can't help your team out. When Team A is ready, the team captain should answer or choose someone on the team to answer. If the answer is correct, Team A gets a point and we move on to the next question. If the answer is incorrect, Team B gets the opportunity to steal, but Team B does not get an additional 20 seconds to discuss. They must answer immediately. If Team B gets the question right, they get a point and we move on to the next question. If they get it wrong, nobody gets a point and we move on to the next question. The next question begins with Team B. So on until Team A and Team B have each been asked 12 questions, 24 total per round. At the end of a round, the moderator or scorekeeper will let each team know how many points they scored. If this were regular Reading Olympics, you would move to a different room to start round 2. But this is virtual Reading Olympics, so the teams stay put and the moderators move. So at the end of round 1, your moderator is going to leave the meeting and join a meeting with 2 different teams to begin round 2. A new moderator will then join you for the beginning of round 2. Remember that your chaperone/scorekeeper will be with you the entire time. We'll do that for 3 rounds. But don't log off yet at the end of round 3. We still need to have our final celebration. At the end of 3 rounds, your moderator is going to post a link in your team to a Teams live event chat. And this is going to be similar to the special area live events that you've been attending on Wednesdays and Fridays. Click that link and you'll join the live celebration where your Reading Olympics coordinators and possibly some special guests will celebrate and congratulate you on a job well done. We also want to celebrate each team individually, so what we need you to do is take a fun selfie and send it to your librarian so we can create team photos. Some of you may be concerned that you are not prepared for Reading Olympics since, well, we all thought it was canceled. First, no matter how many books you've read, whether it's 7 or 37, you can participate in Reading Olympics. Second, I do suggest reviewing some of the work that you've already done. Log on to Who's Reading and look at the practice questions you've already written to jog your memory. If you want to write some more, go ahead, write some more. You can take the quizzes on there too if you want as well. You can also take the quizzes if you want. Third, and maybe most importantly, the elementary librarians realize that it has been a while since you've read these books. We are going through the official Reading Olympics questions, removing the questions that we think are too hard or unfair, and creating a question set that we are confident you'll still be able to answer. Reading Olympics has always been and will always be a celebration of reading more than it is a competition. Our focus is on that idea now more than ever, which is also why we will not be awarding different colored ribbons this year. Although we will still keep score and let you know how you did at the end of each round, every team will receive the same ribbon in recognition of your dedication to Reading Olympics given these unprecedented circumstances. All right, T-shirts. Because Mr. Ellis is so on the ball, we were lucky enough to get our T-shirts ordered and delivered before the quarantine. So, if you would like to get your Reading Olympics T-shirt, I'll be at KDM on Tuesday, May 19th from 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock for curbside pickup. I'll be wearing my mask and following social distancing guidelines. I'd love for all Reading Olympians to come pick up their shirts and say hello from a safe distance. But if you are not comfortable with curbside pickup, I completely understand. We'll hold on to your T-shirt until the world gets back to normal and get it to you then.
I'm sure you have some questions about all the things that were discussed. To answer those questions, there's going to be a special Library Live event on Wednesday, May 13th at 2:30. That's this Wednesday. In order to join in on the conversation, check your Reading Olympics team page on your team's account to join in on the conversation.
To review, Great Valley Elementary Schools are holding a virtual Reading Olympics on Wednesday, May 20th from 2:30 till about 4 o'clock. The event will take place in Microsoft Teams and the celebration will be a Teams live event. There will be modified questions, but review anything you can before the event. Curbside pickup for T-shirts is on Tuesday, May 19th between 3 and 4 o'clock. Please wear a mask. A special Library Live Reading Olympics edition will be held on Wednesday, May 13th at 2:30 to answer your questions. The link will be posted soon in your Reading Olympics teams and emailed. Now, although this is not the event we signed up for back in the fall, I think that a virtual Reading Olympics is going to be a great way to celebrate you and the reading you've done. Not to mention that something like this has never been done before in the history of Reading Olympics, or Great Valley. So that's pretty cool. Meantime, please email Mr. Salerno or Mr. Ellis with any questions. We'll see you soon.
Oh, I'm just catching up with some of my reading. Are you ready for Reading Olympics?